What's up, guys? I'm just fresh off my review for Justice League after seeing for the first time. I will be seeing it again, so I could keep and definitely build up another look at it. But so far I said my review. If you haven't watched that, I did enjoy it. It had a few minor problems, but overall I enjoyed every scene in the movie. I just wish that Steppenwolf had a little more backstory behind him. I wish, of course, his day was Junk XL or even Hans Zimmer had come back for another combo. And I'm looking forward to director's cut because I know there's a lot cut out from the movie, but what we got, I still very much enjoyed. It's a very fast-paced, fun action ride of a movie. And here I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite scenes, which is very hard to do. I'm just doing this fresh off my brain from seeing it. I'm talking about my 5 favorite scenes. Although I could have easily done top 10 or top 20 for all I care. But to be quick about this, I'm just going to do 5. So starting off at number 5. The moment where Flash uses the Speed Force to, with a single finger, push Diana's sword back into her hands while she's falling down a tunnel. That was awesome for many reasons. Number one, because it's just freaking awesome that showing off what he's capable of. While everyone else basically frozen in time, he can react, which is amazing. Two, great teamwork. So showing how well they fight together, just awesome, and showing off what the Flash can do. And number 3, if you know Zack Snyder and you really appreciate his movies, you know he has an eye for classical art. In fact, I believe it's either a bachelor's degree or maybe even a master's degree in art history. So if Batman vs Superman had tons of this in there, so did Man of Steel. Basically everything he does, he puts a lot of that in there, classical art. And this was no different. The moment where Flash reaches out with a single finger and pushes the sword towards Diana was basically a reference to the creation of Adam painting by Michelangelo. And that, to me, was great visually. It just looked so freaking good. And, of course, the reference to that classical painting, as he always does, was awesome. And you see a lot of this in BVS as well. Just really, really well done. It looked just like a painting. I mean, this man has an eye for visual. I will say this by far, what I want to say about superhero movies in general, DCU, Marvel, I think Zack Snyder makes the most visually appealing movies as far as superheroes go, by far. So yeah, that was an awesome scene. Definitely my favorite Flash scenes, although he has many others that I really enjoyed. Ezra Miller really killed it. Number 4. This one's a tie for me. And they both contain Aquaman. So for number 4 spot, I'm torn between the scene where Aquaman, I've seen on the trailer, he basically is killing a bunch of parademons in the sky and then basically surfs on one of them, basically slams them into a building and then walks out of the front like nothing happened. That was just extremely badass. And for all those who make fun of Aquaman, well, there you have it. He's fucking badass. Jason Momoa really killed it as Aquaman. Thought he was awesome. And the other scene I thought was really torn with was the scene where Aquaman starts spilling his guts in front of the people, and it was so convincing. Okay, wow, this is how you really feel. Only to find out Wonder Woman had the lasso of truth around his ankle. That was an awesome scene. It was clever. It was funny, but still we saw how he actually feels about the whole situation. I thought that was pretty. It was funny and emotional at the same time. I really liked that scene. And like I said, Jason Momoa as Aquaman really killed it. He really made me believe in the character. Number 3, namely just the Batman Diana reactions. Not reactions. Their scenes together where they talk. Just my favorite scenes in the movie. Bruce Wayne has had a lot of this where he really spoke to what Superman represented. And probably my favorite one is where Batman even tells Diana, they're talking about bringing back Superman. He even tells her that he did what none of them had done before, except for maybe Batman, and not really even him, because he's more of an urban legend, but he represented, truth and justice for the public eye, worldwide. People loved him for what he represented. And he told Diana that for someone who's even older than Clark, she didn't do that. And of course, he brings up Steve Trevor, and they kind of collide. And I thought it was a great scene because it's really true. Superman is the only one of them who's, basically interacted with the populace of the world and try to make it a better place on a really big scale, which is why he's that beacon of hope they really need for the team. So Batman had that right, and it was very well done. Nice conflict in there between Bruce Wayne was pissing a lot of people off in the movie, but he has good intentions at heart, which is what drives the scene home. So very well done. Number 2, Superman's resurrection, because it came a lot sooner in the movie than I thought it was, and it was awesome. And they were definitely going off the Justice League War animated movie, which honestly I never watched the animated movie, but I watched little bits and pieces of it, and that definitely was what they were going for. Superman comes back, and he's not exactly himself at first, and he kind of takes on everybody, and we see how freaking strong he is. That was pretty awesome. Henry Cavill was decently scary. I'm like, huh, he's actually going to hurt these guys. I mean, you kind of know from the trailer already that won't happen, but he still really sold it really well. And that scene was just awesome. But of course, everyone loves that scene. Everyone's already looked at it. People were already talking about the scene where, Flash, he's so used to being so much faster than everybody else that no one else can comprehend what he's doing. And then right in mid freaking stride, he sees Superman actually moving his eyes and looking at him. Because yes, Superman can more or less keep up with the Flash. How the Flash ultimately is faster, as far as I understand, from the comics as well as most of the TV shows and movies. But Superman can do a pretty better job than everybody else can keeping up with him. So that was definitely a nice touch, and it was a fun and dark scene, and Henry Cavill really nailed it the whole movie. So Superman Resurrection, the resurrection itself, and the scene of them fighting him, just really well done. And that throwback to Batman vs Superman, "Do You Bleed?" That was just awesome. I was like, okay, cool. I love how they referenced that, because you can't just squash that conflict immediately between Batman vs Superman, and I thought that was really well done. And my number 1 favorite scene is Superman pounding on Steppenwolf. Really, the whole scene of Superman coming in and saving the day at the very end. Oh boy, because we all knew it was coming more or less. We just didn't know how much he'd be in. But man, oh man, Superman really killed it. And this is the part that really, really made me feel like, man, this really is like the old school Justice League cartoon. Because this happened many times in the cartoon, when it really needs Superman, he comes and he lays out the really heavy-duty damage to the villain and really change the course of a fight. And you could see it just really well done here. Now, do I wish we'd seen a little in between? Superman visiting Alfred and getting the suit had to get repaired. It had a big hole in it. But in any case, I guess I'll be in director's cut. But in any case, it doesn't change how awesome that scene felt of Superman coming in and just really changing the whole side of the battle in their favor. And he has some great moments, both in lines. He just sounded. It was Space Superman. I mean, people always say, "Oh, he's been mopey and all this stuff," but that's a debate for another video. I really wouldn't say so for my own analysis of Batman or Superman and Man of Steel. But for those who wanted a more cheerful Superman, as they say, quote unquote, you definitely will get it here. But he's still powerful. And it was just great seeing him. It really did feel like classic Justice League cartoon Superman. And yeah, I thought kind of gushing over the scene. Hell, I want to see the movie again just for that scene alone, which is so great. And then if I want to be a nerd fanboy and go ahead and say another scene I really enjoyed, I almost wanted it to beat Superman coming back and pounding some wolf scene, but it still won out. But another scene I really liked, really I guess you could say a runner-up for number 1, was the scene where Superman and the Flash decide to have a race across the world, or in this case I think to the East Coast. Yeah, that once again was a toss back to the original. Well, first of all, the comics, obviously, but also the Superman animated series cartoon, where one of them, the whole plot revolved on Superman and the Flash having a race. In the cartoon, it was around the world, and that was just such an awesome throwback. I mean, and even the release of the movie, if you know, the movie came out on November 17th, which was the original release date of the original cartoon, I believe back in 2001, I want to say. Maybe a little earlier, later. I'm not sure what the exact date, but I know it came out November 17th, but 2001, 2002, 2003, doesn't really matter. But the point is, they also wanted there to be a lot of connection between the cartoon and the movie, and they sold that incredibly well because, like I said many times, that's exactly what this felt like, an episode of the Justice League cartoon brought to life with great acting, great action scenes, good music, not super badass music, which is interesting to me also because the music to me also, I guess in a weird negative part of my nostalgia, the music in the Batman animated series and Superman animated series was a lot better and more personal sounding than it was in Justice League, where it was a lot more, I guess, muted. Superman animated series and Batman animated series had great music by Shirley Walker and other composers, who adapted the Batman theme by Danny Elfman and Superman theme by John Williams and did their own things with it, and it worked really well for the 3-4 seasons they had each. And then in Justice League, they had the same composers, but not everyone really had their own theme, especially not people like Wonder Woman or Flash. So those are my top 5 scenes. Tell me what's yours, and let me know what you thought of the movie.